All right, hi, welcome everybody. Yoga for everybody. So great to see everyone. Let's go ahead and get started with some mindfulness with our breath, creating the foundation for our entire practice. Every inhale and every exhale ultimately becomes the building blocks of our physical practice. So let's begin with some breathing. If you would join me, place one hand over your heart and then another hand down on your belly. And let's mindfully begin to fill the lungs from the bottom to the top of the lung. As we inhale, we feel the stomach pushing out, filling the lower part of the lungs with air. And then we build that breath up into your chest, allowing the collarbones to rise up, maybe even pausing at the top of your breath. Just get in touch with the fullness of the breath in your body. And whenever you're ready, let it go. Maybe even give the body a sigh so that we allow the body to release any tension that might be hiding from us, allowing it to move out of the body with the breath. Inhaling down into the belly, up to the heart, lift the collarbones, then exhale, full body sigh. Let's try that maybe 2 or 3 more times. Inhaling, fully filling the lungs from the bottom to the top at your heart. And then big exhale. Good. One more, everyone. Big inhale from bottom to top. And then a big exhale. From wherever you are, let's just tune into any natural or rhythmic breath in your body. And start to bring awareness to a weight in your hips. Whether you are lying down or seated, you'll be able to follow in the next few movements in our practice. So whether you're lying down or seated, let your weight just rock from hip to hip. So if you're lying down, you might feel that you're just sort of rocking along the sacrum. And if you're seated, you can just sway the trunk of your body a little bit left and right. Let's become aware of those subtle shifts in sensation whenever we move from left to right, noticing when there's more or less weight in one hip with the body. Let's notice when we feel centered with our weight in the hips, bring it through center and allow your low back and hips to rest in place. Embrace some stillness. From here, let's take the right arm. If you're lying down on the floor, turn the palm up. From seated, we're going to turn that palm up on our lap or on the knee area. As you inhale, let's slowly take that arm, let it rise up towards the side, maybe graze it along the floor like you're making a snow angel. And then exhale, slowly take that arm down. Let's do the other side, turning the left palm up. As we inhale, we can float that arm as high as the shoulder permits or graze it along the floor. And then exhale, let it come down. Now let's just practice alternating this a few more times with our own breath. Inhaling one arm out to the side or up over the head. And then exhale, slowly bring it down. Switching sides. We're moving one arm at a time. When we move both arms at once, it is multitasking for the brain. It requires a lot more coordination. So instead, we're just going to give the body opportunity to really isolate sensations on one side of the body, eliminating any distractions, helping us to focus more on what the body is experiencing as we initiate these movements with the breath. Let's do at least one more on each side. Inhaling as you reach up, notice any sensations by your rib, by your armpit. Slowly bring it down. Other side. And down. Now, if you are seated, I invite you to go ahead and lie down on your back at this time. We can sweep our feet over to the side and then gently lie down and roll over onto our backs. from lying on our backs, let's all place our hands down on the pelvis region. So if you were to make, let's say, like a diamond shape with your hand, where you open the palms of your hands, touch the index finger, touch the thumb, and then place the palms down with the thumbs at your belly button. You'll have the palms of the hands resting on the pelvis. From here, let's just feel for a gentle tilt in the pelvis, pushing into the feet. Pull your pelvis up. So you're, in essence, you're flattening the middle back, and pull the ribs down and in. We're creating a gentle contraction in the abdomen area. When you're ready, slowly relax. Let's flatten through the hips and pelvis. Inhale, slowly peel it up. Exhale, let the muscles contract in. Pull the ribs down, pull the belly button in, and then slowly release. Inhale, lifting about halfway. Hold it. Exhale, lift a little higher, so it's a deeper contraction. And when you're ready, release. Taking in a breath. Inhale, little lift. Exhale, lift a little higher, contract, ribs in. Inhale, release, and relax. Let's do just maybe one or two more. Lifting just a little bit, peeling up the tailbone, ribs pull down and in, lift a little higher, deeply contracting just in this lower abdominal region, and then release. One more. Little lift, belly button in, exhale, contract, push into the soles of the feet, and then release. From here, let's bring our left knee in towards the chest. Go ahead and roll out your ankle and point and flex the foot. So let's give the body a little bit of time to experiment with some movement before we start putting any pressure on the knees or the feet. Go ahead and extend that leg up straight up towards the sky. And if you want, push into your other foot, whatever foot is on the ground, push into that foot and lift your pelvis off the ground and draw that leg in closer. Holding it there, big exhale. When you're ready, relax your pelvis, relax the knee, and sit the foot down. Let's take our other leg up, knee to chest, roll out the ankle, point and flex the foot. I think these little ankle rolls are some of life's simplest pleasures. It just can feel so rewarding just to get that energy moving in your ankles. Let's stretch that leg up, push into your foot that's on the floor, and lift up the hips a little bit. So we're integrating that gentle contraction. Pull the knee in just a little more, getting a stretch on the back side of the hip by the glute in the buttocks region. When you're ready, slowly bend that knee, lower your hips, both knees on the ground. Let's take the feet out, maybe as wide as your yoga mat, or it could be just wider than your hips. Let's take our hands down to the floor beside us, palms down at first for safety, and then we can always turn them up later. With the palms down, let's let those knees sway left and right. So we'll go from bending the ankles and the knees and bending at the hip joint. Now we're beginning to bend and move from the entire hip and waistline up into your middle back and spine. As you twist over to the left, push into your right foot so that you lift your hip up a little more. And now drop that right hip, twist over to the right with your knees, push into your left foot to lift your hip just a little more. So we're using those feet for leverage to work that twist all the way up into the shoulders, possibly into the neck and the head as well. When you twist your knees to the left, maybe look over to the right, look in the opposite direction and push into that right foot to lift that right hip a little more. Let's swing it over to the right. Head is gazing to the left. Push into the left foot, lift that hip a little more. Let's do one more to each side. When it feels right for you, bring it to center. Let's walk our feet into about hip width. Taking our hands down beside us, right down by the hips. Inhale, push into the feet and lift the hips straight up. So it's a little different from how we began the warm-up, where we peeled up the pelvis. We're going straight up, big hinge from the hips. As you exhale, come straight down from the hips. Inhale, gentle lift, float the hips up into bridge. And then exhale, lower the hips down. You can add your arms into this, inhaling to lift. Exhale, arms go up, hips come down. Inhaling, big lift through the hips. Exhale, bring it down. Let's do one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Let's bring our hands down beside us. Let those knees rock over to one side, and let's roll over onto our sides for a moment and allow your breath to move up and down the sides of your spine and through the back of the lungs. Breathe down into the low back, to the middle back and upper back. Exhale, soften through the back of your body, soften through your ribs. When you're ready, use the top arm. Let's come up to seated today. From seated, go ahead and take your knees out wide. And we can hold on behind the thighs, taking the hands around the sides of the legs and then under the thigh or even closer to your knee joint. You can point your toes and then maybe lift the toes, noticing if that creates more or less stability for you as we begin to move into a seated cat and cow. From here, we're coming forward with the belly. Make some space so that the ribs can comfortably fit between the thighs. We want to also make sure that there's no pressure on your stomach at this time. Coming forward with the ribs, inhale, open the throat and look up. Then exhale, round the spine and drop the chin in the head. Inhaling forward, we could rock along the tailbone if this is comfortable, or isolate that movement in the belly and the spine and keep the hips still. Inhaling forward, option to flip those hips back, rocking on the tailbone. Exhale, option to roll back, maybe even tuck the tailbone under a little bit. One more of each. Inhale, coming forward, pulling up through the ribs. And then exhale, taking it back, belly in, chin down. From here, let's come forward, stretch the legs out as far as they want to go without straining the low back. So we want to make sure that that low back stays happy as we move into a few gentle twists. Let's take our right arm up, big inhale. And as you exhale, rotate just at the belly button and reach towards your left foot. So right now, I'm not leaning forward. I'm just simply reaching with the arm as I rotate through the trunk of the body. Once you feel that you've got maximum rotation from neutral, then let's lead with the heart high, reaching out and maybe even over that left toe. We can always put our hand down on the shin or on the floor next to the leg. Relax your head and neck for a gentle head to knee expression. Breathe down into the low back, through the ribs. Breathe into those spaces under your shoulder blades and into the neck. When you're ready, slowly walk the hands in. Let's slowly bring our belly button and heart to neutral. Inhaling, taking the left arm up, twisting towards the right knee without leaning forward, taking our hand towards that right foot, reaching with that right hand. So the more we reach, the more we may notice that we're getting a little more of a twist through the spine, a healthy squeeze through the spine. When you're ready, inhale, lift up the heart, just like cow pose, just like the seated position we just began. Reach forward from the heart and eventually relax the upper body. Let your head and neck relax. Let the hands either touch that opposite toe, maybe the hands touch the leg, or the hands can frame the extended leg. Feel that that opposite hip is pushing down into the ground. So as you're twisting to the right, the left hip pushes back and down. Let's slowly walk the hands in, bringing our belly button and heart to neutral. So let's break that down a little bit. Go ahead and bend the right knee. Let's bend the right knee in. And maybe the knee goes off to the side and opens the thigh, or maybe it feels more comfortable to stay on the edge of your foot and to let the knee stay up a little bit. Just being sure that your ankle and your knee and your hip and back are comfortable. So my left leg is extended. Let's inhale, take both arms up overhead. From here, rotating at the belly button. I'm reaching with the right arm, reach with the left arm. Inhale, lift up the heart. Keep reaching with the heart and the arms up. And at some point, we're going to relax those hands, relax the head and the neck. Maybe take your right hand to your right hip and push that right hip down. You might even notice that you get a little more of a bend or a side opening in the right side of your body this way. Let's exhale from the throat. Opening up the right side of the body, opening up the liver when we do this. Big inhale. When you're ready, let's walk the hands in. Slowly bring this right leg out, and let's bring the left foot in. Extending out through the right leg, make sure that left knee and hip are comfortable. Let's inhale both arms up, big breath in, lengthen through the spine. Let's turn from our belly button first, and then right shoulder back, left shoulder forward, maybe a little bigger twist. Inhale, reach forward, lead with the heart, eventually relax the hands, and let the head and the neck bow forward. Feel as if that left hip is pushing back and down. We can even give our body just a little more awareness by taking the left hand to the left hip and pushing that left hip down. Maybe we get a little bigger stretch right here on the left side of the body. One more big breath in, exhale from your throat. When it feels right for you, slowly walk the hands in. And let's bring that belly to neutral. Now from here, let's go ahead and come into all fours. So we'll bend both of our knees and then rock on over into all fours. So you have your knees under the hips, and then we're stacking shoulders, elbows, and wrists in a straight line, or wrist under the elbow for more comfort. From wherever you are, drop the belly, moving into cow pose. Inhaling into cow, hold it there, squeeze the inner thighs, pull up through the pelvis, and now exhale into cat. Pause, release any tension in your pelvis and thighs. Inhale, cow pose. Pause with cow, pull up through the pelvis, squeeze the inner thighs. Keep that tension when you exhale and contract through the abdomen. Release that contraction. Easy inhale, lengthening through the spine. At the top of the breath, pause, pull up through the pelvis, squeeze the inner thighs, contract the belly, and drop the head and the neck. Inhale, relax. Let all the tension go from your lower body and simply allow the body to fill with your breath. Last time, pause at the inhale, squeeze the inner thighs, pull up through the pelvis, and then contract. Exhale. Hold cat pose. Push into the floor and open up your shoulder blades. Take a breath in and hold cat. 2 more. When you're ready, slowly come to neutral. Let's slowly take our time thinking about how the body might want to come to standing. From wherever you are, step 1 foot forward. Maybe put a hand on the thigh for support. Let's tuck that back toe and then bring it forward into a standing forward fold. Go ahead and hang the head nice and loose, shaking the head yes, and turning the head left and right. From forward fold, let's walk the hands up to our thighs and then all the way up to standing. As we come into standing, let's step our feet out to about the width of just the pelvis bones. Find where the edges of your hips are, and maybe you see that's where the edges of the feet are as well. So oftentimes people hear hip width and they bring their toes to hip width. We want the edges of the feet at hip width. From here, let's inhale, scoop up the breath, and then exhale, hands to the heart. Sit back into an easy chair expression. Be sure you're only putting in just a fraction of effort right now as the body is just getting used to weight bearing on the feet. Inhaling, scoop up the breath. Maybe the hands come to shoulder height. Maybe they go all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart, sitting back into chair. Let's do a couple more like this. And you're always welcome to close your eyes. Imagining a yoga block between the knees so that the energy stays active with your thighs and pelvis. Exhaling down. Let's do one more big breath in. Exhaling down in the chair. From here, walk your feet to touching. Let's take our right hand to the left thigh or to your left hip. Take the left hand to the low back and slowly twist towards the left. Just a gentle revolving chair expression. Breathe mostly into your upper left lung. Big inhale. And now exhale, come around through center. From here, remember cow pose. Push the hips back, belly forward, chest high. From here, let's take our left hand to the right leg or to the right hip. Right hand to the low back, protecting that shoulder joint. On an inhale, gentle twist over to the right. Maybe looking over the right shoulder, or you can look forward. Let's sit the hips back, maybe just a tiny bit more. Big inhale into the right lung. When you're ready, exhale to center. Both hands on the thigh. Cow pose, push the hips back. Inhale, open up your throat. Exhale, round the spine, pull the hips forward and let your upper back round while the fingertips slide down toward your knees. Bring the hands up to the thighs, bend the knees, bend the hips back. Open up through the body, standing cow. Squeezing those shoulders back. When you're ready, exhale. Round forward with the spine, reach down with the fingertips. Opening up through the back of the heart, the kidneys and the adrenal glands. When you're ready, bend the knees, flip the hips back. Let's bring the hands up onto the thighs, propping up the spine, coming into more of a neutral expression with the back. From here, let's inhale, bringing the arms up and overhead, and then exhale, hands to the heart. Take the feet out about as wide as your yoga mat or maybe wider. You're welcome to turn in any direction. Just be sure that you can see me for the next few minutes as we go through our standing sequence. Let's take our left leg, lift up your left toe and turn it out to the side. From here, we'll bend that left knee, bringing the arms out into cactus arms. So the elbows are bent in close to the sides of the body while the hands are open. From here, let's inhale, take the arms up and straighten your left leg. Then exhale, bring the hands down. Pull the elbows in by the waist and pinch down by the armpit. We want to get just a gentle massage into those lymph nodes on the side of the breast and chest region. Inhale, coming up, maybe even looking up, stretching through the throat, and exhale, bring it down. 2 more like this. Inhale, extend and reach. Exhale, down, pinch through the armpit. Option to close the eyes. Inhaling through the nose, exhale from your throat. From here, let's just lift the left hand. Turn the palm in towards your face and reach straight up. Take the right hand down. Maybe even lean back just a little bit, sliding that right hand down the leg. Continue to bend the left knee, opening up the left side of your body. One more big breath into the upper left lung. Exhale to side angle, gentle side angle. Left hand to the thigh or left elbow onto the thigh. So the hand to the thigh is usually going to be safer. If we're putting our elbow on the thigh, make sure that you're not coming over with your spine. We want to keep that spine nice and long. And usually the left hand is going to definitely ensure protection of your spine. Let's take our right hand back and around, at least 3 circles with that arm or with the elbow to loosen up that shoulder joint. After you've done about 3 of these, try those circles in the opposite direction. Easy does it. At some point, let's find a place for that right arm to be still. It could be straight out from your shoulder as if you're waving at me. It could be the hand at the hip. Let's straighten the left leg and maybe press the right armpit down towards your right hip, then slide that left hand to the shin, moving into your body's expression of triangle pose, Trikonasana. At any point, you can change your mind with that right hand. Maybe you extend the arm up, or maybe you lower that arm so you can focus on strengthening the spine muscles. No matter what you choose, tune into what's going on with your neck right now. One of the most common complaints in this pose is neck discomfort. If there's any pain in your neck, first turn and look down towards the floor, and then maybe lower that top arm if you don't have it down already. Let's breathe mostly into the upper right lung. Continue to open the body. Imagine that you're trying to flatten your body between 2 planes of glass. One more big breath. When you're ready, let's bend that left knee. Right hand to the right hip for support. Slide that left hand to the left thigh. Push into the hand, propping up the spine, and now slowly come up to neutral. Let's turn our left toe forward and now lift the right toe. Pivot that right toe out. Little bend in that right knee. Arms come up, cactus arms. Pull the elbows in, pinch in by the armpits. Let's flow this a little bit. Inhale, arms come up, straight right leg. You can even lean back a little bit. And then exhale, bring it down. Inhaling, breath and movement working together. Choreographing the flow of our physical practice to each rhythmic breath. Let's do a couple more of these. Inhale up, option to look up, and then exhale down, squeeze in by the armpits. One more, inhale up, and then exhale down. Let's hold those elbows in. Turn that right palm towards your face. Reach the right hand straight up, lower that left hand down, and maybe reach down with the left hand without pushing into your leg. Just reach down to the outside of your foot. You can always bend that top arm if it's more comfortable. Maybe straighten that right leg a little bit, or keep a deep bend. That way you can isolate that stretch around your liver. Big inhale. One more. Exhaling, supported side angle. So again, right hand on the right thigh is going to provide more support to the spine. Usually more support means more stability, and it means safer places for the body. You can take the left hand to your waist and start to work on pulling that left shoulder back. Maybe rotate that right shoulder forward, flattening the body between two planes of glass, keeping a bend in that right knee. Option to take the right elbow to the thigh if we're able to maintain a nice long spine. So again, if you notice that you're hunching over to one side, switch to the hand and prop up that spine. No matter where you are with this, let's keep the shoulders rolled back and down, feeling as if your shoulder blades are slipping back into your back pockets, if you have pockets on your pants. Let's take that left arm and circle it back and around about 3 times. Inhaling as we open, exhale as the energy closes. And now reversing that about 3 circles. Inhale to open, exhale to close. It could be with the elbow, equally effective. Elbow circles usually have less strain on the shoulder. Let's slowly take that left hand to a still point. It can be out from your shoulder, waving at me, or you can have that hand on your hip. Let's straighten our right leg and then maybe slide the hand past the knee. No pressure on that knee joint. Maybe put the right hand on your shin instead. Changing our mind at any time with the arms. Let's notice our necks. We might want to look down, relax the jaw. Breathing easy. When you're ready, slowly lower that top arm. Still squeezing the body between 2 planes of glass, flattening through the body. Let's bend that right knee. Slide the right hand up to the right thigh. And now rise up to warrior 2. When you're ready, slowly lower the hands. Let's turn our right toe in and go ahead and inch the feet in towards each other. Let's touch our toes together. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Palms together, sitting back into a very conservative chair. A couple more. Inhale. Exhale down. Let's hold in that down position, taking our hands to the hips. Take the weight over into your right foot and try lifting the left leg. So I have my hips back a little bit and I'm lifting my left leg. Let's cross the left leg over. And as we cross it over, we may want to keep the toe on the floor, or you can keep that leg lifted. You could always try using a prop to balance the body a little more, and maybe even bring the thighs up to crossing. So for this particular standing upright balancing pose, it is enough to have one foot supporting for us and the other toe on the ground. You don't have to lift the foot for this to be very effective. From here, let's bring our arm in front of us and maybe we just give ourselves a hug across. That right arm or right hand can go to your left shoulder. If we're feeling pretty comfortable with experimenting today, take your left hand and bring it underneath your right arm. So you're giving your body an embrace, a nice big hug. This is preparation for eagle pose, Garud Asana. From that big embrace, let's separate the hands and then bring the hands towards each other. It might be palm to palm. It could be backs of the hands touching. You can rotate the hands in all different ways. There aren't any, solid rules in the hand positioning for this expression of eagle. Let's continue to keep a healthy hinge back through the hips while that left leg is crossed over. Shoulders pressed down away from the ears. The thumbs are lifting up. At the most, we might have our right thumb in front of our nose. Anything higher than that could create some strain in the body. We just want to take it easy on those shoulders and neck. Breathe into the sides of your lungs. One more big breath in, and then relax. That is a huge balancing pose for the body. That is huge for the brain to keep track of where our arms and legs are when we cross it over and to stay balanced. Let's try the other side. So I am breaking it down step by step. So hopefully what this does is it gets all parts of the body recruited for the best possible outcome, which is staying balanced. So step one, it's a little tiny chair pose. And maybe even a step further than that, maybe it's a little bit like cow pose. So it's not enough sometimes to just say do chair for this. Sometimes we need to release those hips back and have a little bit, not sway back, but we do want a little bit of a dip in the low back so that we have more mobility in our hips. Let's lift up just the right heel and then cross it over your left leg. So again, it could be just the toe to the side. You can lift that foot as long as there's no pressure on the knee. You could even bring it up and over if that's comfortable for you. From here, let's take that left hand to the right shoulder, and then the right hand goes under the left for that big embrace. You can lower your head and look to the floor a little bit. Relax the breath in the back of your body. Move the breath into the sides of the body. Remember to relax the jaw, smile, breathe deep. One more big breath in. You can stay here or separate those hands. Still experimenting with the pose. If this is uncomfortable at all with your shoulders, hands to the hips. The essence of this pose is all in the weight bearing, just getting most of our weight onto one foot for healthy bone density. Healthy balance is part of it too. When you're ready, slowly release your hands. Let's slowly uncross the legs, step into both feet and stand up nice and tall. Maybe even kick off your legs a little bit. When you're ready, go ahead and take your time to think about how you might want to come down to the floor for some seated movements. This is also a good time to grab a little bit of water. As we make our way towards the floor for a few seated and core movements, maybe grab a pillow or a blanket to put underneath your hips. From wherever you are, let's take our feet in front of us and see the knees and the feet at hips width. Preparing for boat pose, a little bit of core work here. Let's bring our hands behind the thighs to support the spine. Remember cow pose from seated. Come forward, trying not to put too much pressure on the belly. Lift the heart and the ribs. Maybe just act surprised. And that gives enough of a lift for most of us. From here, let's slowly lift our toes up off the floor. And then gently rock back and maybe hover your feet off of the floor. So we're holding a gentle expression of boat. You have the option to release one hand and then the other. So let's try alternating a few times. That way the body can work on stabilizing one hip at a time. It's the hips. It's all in the hip stabilizers here and the lower core. Just one arm out at a time. Now, if you want, take both arms out and hold it. To add a little more work into this, you can lift one foot and lower down. Lift the other foot, lower down. We'll alternate this just a few times. And remember, you can hold on to the backs of the legs at any time. Allow your body to adapt to the posture so that you feel that you're able to invest the most physical effort into this without injury. So lots of physical effort, but only as much as the body permits without injury. Now maybe we test the water and lift both legs. You can hold on behind the thighs with both legs up, or you can take both arms beside you. Boat, Navasana. One more easy breath. Exhale, let those feet come down. Touch the toes and open the knees for butterfly pose. For this expression of butterfly today, we're going to focus on keeping the spine long while we hinge forward. So we're going to avoid rounding in the back. Remember in cow pose here, we lengthen through the body, pull the belly forward, pull the shoulders back, collarbones up, maybe even open the throat a little bit in this one. Staying seated upright in our expression of butterfly, building strength in the spine, shoulders pressing towards the hips. Exaggerate your inhales and your exhales. Inhale through the nose, flare out the nostrils, and then exhale. Let all of it go. So it takes work to lengthen the spine, but it also takes relaxation to lengthen the spine. If there's tension or stress in the chest, we need to let that go. As we let that tension go, the spine lengthens. Various muscles can jump in to help lengthen us even more. Big inhale, big exhale. One more. When you're ready, slowly bring the knees together. Let's extend our legs out straight. Seated staff pose. We're pulling our toes in towards the body, and we're taking a little bend in both knees. So at least enough space under the knees to pass our hands, or maybe enough space to roll a golf ball under the knees. That way we have healthy circulation here. Keep the toes up. So we are going to do a little bit hip stabilizing, and this involves hip strengthening. This is a movement that many of you have done with me before. If it is newer to your body, it could feel really challenging. If you haven't done it in a while, it could feel very challenging. The good news is these muscles strengthen really fast, and these are muscles that we want to have recruited to prevent tripping and falling and to keep us balanced. So let's sit tall. You're welcome to watch me first. I'm sliding the palms of my hands back from my hips, and I'm just keeping a fingertip-like touch. I'm not even coming all the way down onto my hands, but you can if that's comfortable on your wrist. You could also use a fist with your thumbs forward if that's more comfortable. From wherever you are, think of pulling that left knee back into the left hip joint, and then hover that left heel over the floor. So it's different from just moving your knee. The knee is not moving at all. It is truly a tiny lift just from the hip. What is most common in this is that your leg will start to shake. This is a lot of weight. It is a lot of demand on the hip to have the leg extended and to lift. Based on physics, this is work, a lot of work. So breathe it out. Remember to smile. You can lean back a little bit, but then bring it back up. Let's hold it a little more. 3, 2, 1, let it go. Shake out the knees. I know some of you remembered that one right away. All right, let's bend the knees. Make sure there's enough space for a golf ball to pass. Slide the hands back. Inhale, lift your heart. We want a tall posture here. Pull the toes forward, flat feet. Let's hover, lift from the hip. Pull that right hip socket in and lift from the hip. Hold it there. Naturally, most people, their toe will start to turn out. Bring it back up to center. So holding it so that your big toe is straight up and in towards your body. This is also strengthening deep muscles on your inner thigh and hip that move into pelvic floor stability. Act surprised. Stay lifted tall. Remember to smile. Big breath. Just 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Shake off the knees. Woohoo! I know y'all remember that one. All right, from here, let's take our time and come down onto the floor, bending our knees. We may want to roll over onto one side and then slowly come down, then roll onto your back. From lying on our backs, let's make that diamond shape with our hands again, and then place the hands underneath your tailbone or low back. You could use a pillow under your hips instead of the hands. Let's look up to the sky, lift the heels, lift 1 foot at a time, hovering the feet while the knees are hovered and the hips are hovered. Let's straighten our legs and hold it in legs up the wall. If this is hurting your hands, take the hands away. I have mine just outside my hips, so I get that little lift, but not so much pressure on the thumbs and the joints of the hands. From here, flatten through the feet, and now take the feet out wide into a straddle position, allowing the legs to go as wide as there is still safety and comfort and stability in the pelvis here. Push through the heels. If it's more comfortable, take your hands behind your thighs and knees. Sometimes it's nice to put your elbow on the floor and then to let the legs kind of fall into the hands so that the hands are holding the legs up. We're stretching the muscles on the inner thigh. There are also lymph nodes here, moving and draining from your ankles all the way into the pelvic region and the gut. We're holding it here at least 1 or 2 more breaths. When you're ready, slowly bend the knees. Let's bring the feet in a little closer and rock it left and right. Happy baby pose. Let's do a nice big twist today before we get ready for meditation, a big twist. For this big twist, you're welcome to watch me. I am going to cue it left and right, and it's a pretty fun twist. Sometimes we can lose track of our legs in this pose once we get the legs all twisted. So to begin, lower your feet down. Let's walk our feet to the left edge of our mat. Lift the left leg and cross it over your right leg. Push into your right foot so that you lift your left hip. Both knees twist to the right. Your right foot is down behind you. Reach down with your left hand to maybe hold your right foot. The fun, big twist. Option to look up at the ceiling, maybe take your right hand beside you or up overhead. Breathing into the center of the chest, breathing around your heart. Exhale from the throat. Breathing mostly into that left lung. Of course, if there's any tension in the body, let that breath release the tension. We can trust that exhale to bring us a lot of peace, a lot of release. Now, when you're ready, let go of the left hand, let go of the foot. Slowly bring the hands to a safe place. We may want to uncross the legs and then come to center. When you're ready, walk the feet over to the right edge of your mat. Cross the right leg over the left leg, right over left. Push into the left foot. This is going to prepare the twist. Both knees twist to the left. Your left foot is on the floor behind you. Take your right hand and reach down for that left foot. Maybe take the left hand out to the side, a single cactus arm, or bring it up over your head. Breathe mostly into your upper right lung. Inhale, flare out the nostrils. Exhale from your throat. 2 more big inhales like this. This is called a reclining Turkish twist. Reclining Turkish twist. Yoga teachers often call this the pretzel pose because we are so twisted up in this pose. And sometimes we even wonder, am I holding on to my left or my right foot? You can lose track of your feet. 1 more inhale and exhale to safely exit the pose, to come out of this pretzel twist. Let's lower both our hands down, and we might want to take that right leg out from under the left. We may want to uncross the legs. From here, take your sweet time, bring it into lying on your back. Maybe let those knees sway. Let's center and neutralize the low back before we go to relaxation. Knees to chest and hold on tight. Hold it there. Exhale. Inhale. From here, go ahead and give your body some time to prepare for final meditation and relaxation. You may want to take your feet out wide, then let the knees fall into touch. Maybe take both your legs out straight on the floor. Go ahead and get comfortable. Grab pillows, blankets. If you have a diffuser or some aromatherapy, go ahead and treat yourself with those little extras in your meditation. From wherever you are, bring awareness to your breath and just begin to stretch out your exhale. So keep your exhale longer than the inhale, and you may even count it. Inhaling 1, 2, 3. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Longer exhales tap into the relaxation response of the body. So slow down that exhale. There's no rush. If you're feeling anxious or a sense of urgency with that exhale, you could always try pursing your lips, inhaling through the nose for a count of 3. And then exhaling from 4, purse the lips like you're going to blow bubbles. Relax on the inhale through your nose. And then exhale, blowing bubbles. Slow down that exhale. The slower the exhale, the greater the chance of relaxation in your body. Let's practice that for about a quiet minute. Inhaling 1, 2, 3. Exhaling, blowing bubbles maybe. 4, 3, 2, 1. On every inhale, think about lightening up. So what might it feel like if you were breathing in helium, that element of lightness on your inhale? When you exhale, you're becoming very heavy. Allow your sense of awareness of the body to sort of oscillate or pendulate between light and heavy with each rhythmic breath. Inhale, feeling very light, very open, very much at ease. Exhale, feeling very heavy, feeling very connected or anchored to the earth. Focusing on these two opposite energies and maybe even those places in between for the next quiet minutes. Inhaling very light, exhale becoming very heavy, just feeling your body ebb and flow between heavy and light. After this next exhale, allowing the body to be heavy, just simply breathe in, noticing the breath, allowing your body to be at ease. As this concludes your physical practice today and your guided meditation, I invite you to maybe rest here just a little longer. We can close by placing the hands over the chest, feeling for the breath in the body, staying mindful to that ability to lighten up with that every inhale and to become heavy on the exhale, and just noticing what you feel in your body, knowing that that can shift your emotions at any time. If you start to feel very anxious today, focus on that heaviness. If you start to feel sluggish or depressed, focus on that lightness, and maybe we'll have those subtle shifts to center us. I thank you so much for joining me today in our Yoga for Everybody class. Thank you for being here. Namaste, everyone. Go have a beautiful week.